Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? So I want to talk about a really exciting matchup coming up on July 30th. We got Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Again, it's July 30th. It's going to be on Showtime at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, man. I believe that this is going to be one of those fights that get thrown in the hat for Fight of the Year. I think it's that type of matchup. It's two guys that don't shy away from the action. Two guys that are willing to sit there in the middle of the ring and bang it out. Especially when you have another opponent that has a certain type of style that I think would benefit both guys. You have Jose Benavidez, who he likes to throw punches in bunches. He don't really move a lot, and a lot of that is due to the injury that he had outside of the ring some years back. We're going to talk about that. But that's what he likes to do. He's a good counterpuncher, but he also likes to throw punches in bunches. Danny Garcia is one of the best counterpunchers in the sport of boxing, has been for some years now. But when he has the right opponent in the ring, he will open up and let his hands go. And I think that'll be the case for this fight and this particular matchup. This is going to be a fun fight to watch. I want to break this down and just kind of talk about a couple of things in regard to this fight and some key factors. So first and foremost, you got Benavidez. In my opinion, he hadn't looked the best in his last couple of fights coming back. He took some time off after getting stopped by Terrence Crawford. Before that fight, he was out the ring for some time because he had an injury outside the ring. He got shot in his leg, fucked his knee up, and he really ain't been the same since then. So he was out for some time before he fought Terrence Crawford. Got stopped in the 12th round by Terrence Crawford, and then he was out the ring for like 2-3 years, something like that. Came back, had a couple of fights, didn't look spectacular at all. Danny Garcia, he hasn't fought since losing to Earl Spence in December of 2020. What was that, 2020? I believe that was December of 2020 or 2021, one of those. But he's been out the ring since then, and this is his first fight back, really trying to, get his feet wet, get back into the sport. He's fighting in a new division, 154, a division that he's been talking about moving up to for the last couple of years. Benavidez, I believe this is his first fight at 54. So I think it's going to be a really fun fight to watch. Stylistically, these guys match up well. But I want to say this, man. I think Danny Garcia might retire Benavidez in this fight. I'll be honest with y'all. Though I love Jose Benavidez Jr.'s style, he's always fun to watch. I don't think he belongs in boxing. I don't think this dude should be boxing, I'll be honest. That knee injury that he has, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Unless this guy wants to be a human punching bag, or, unless he's fighting a guy that really don't have no type of offense, it's just not going to turn out good for him. He's just going to continue to take big shot after big shot. He has a pretty decent chin, but it's only so long that shit going to last. And I'm telling you, from what I seen on the film, from what I seen in his fights, from the Terrence Crawford fight on up, this dude don't belong in the ring. I'm telling you, his knee is never going to be the same. His shit fucked up. His mobility is just simply not there. And too many times I see him falling off balance when he swing and miss, trying to stick. Every time I see him try to stick that foot in the ground and kind of get his leverage going, it just don't look right. Danny Garcia, I believe, will have one of those fights where, you know, he's coming off a loss, and this will be one of those fights like when he fought Adrian Granados. This will be one of those fights where stylistically it's just perfect for him, and he gonna be able to get off and do what he want to do. I think that in the first half of the fight, it'll be competitive. Danny Garcia, like I said, is a counterpuncher primarily, so he will allow Benavidez to get some shit off just so he can open him up and try to counter him, hit him with a big left or a big right. And I would like to see Danny Garcia use his jab more in this fight because I think that'll help him set up those shots because those shots will be there. Benavidez will throw and he will miss and he will be off balance multiple times in this fight. And that's a perfect opportunity for a guy like Danny Garcia who like to load up on those counter punches and catch you with something clean, catch you with something mean. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, Benavidez can win this fight. I think it's competitive. If Danny Garcia somehow gets gun shy, like I've seen before, you know, if Benavidez can throw enough punches to occupy Danny Garcia and make him keep his hands in his pockets, and, you know, just throw, like, if he can throw 80 to 100 punches around in this fight, which I think is unlikely, but it's possible. If he can do that and have decent defense, he can beat Danny Garcia. I don't think he stops Danny Garcia by no means, but I think he can possibly win a close decision. Danny Garcia, I believe, can win a decision by boxing efficiently and boxing sharp and smart. And I think he can stop Benavidez. I actually believe the stoppage is more likely just because of what I said. Benavidez will leave openings there for Danny Garcia to land those famous big lefts and rights. You know, I think you're going to see Danny Garcia come out and box, kind of be efficient and economical in the first few rounds, kind of wait to see what Benavidez throwing at him. But by the fourth round, you're going to start to see Danny Garcia landing really big shots. And it's going to be a situation where Benavidez just simply cannot get out of the way of the shots. I think Danny Garcia, in a very competitive and fan-friendly fight, fireworks, action-packed, in one of those type of fights, I think Danny Garcia stops Jose Benavidez in brutal fashion. This shit might look like how when Danny Garcia knocked out Rod Salka. And I know y'all might be like, man, you know, contender regime, you tripping, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez ain't no damn Rod Salka. You right. But I'm telling y'all, that knee, that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? This man cannot move. He has no mobility. For a guy like Danny Garcia, who got a great chin, and I think he gonna be strong as hell at 154. That chin probably gonna be even stronger. For a guy like that, who will be willing to sit down in the fire, allow Benavidez to miss, and sit down on one of those big lefts and rights, I think he's gonna end up catching Benavidez with a brutal shot, and we're gonna see how good Jose Benavidez's chin really is. And I don't think he's going to be able to take too many of those because, like I said, with Danny Garcia, man, you gotta have some type of mobility, you know? You got to have some type of, you know, in and out of angles like when Earl fought him. Earl kept the jab in his face, coming forward aggressively, but he was coming forward at angles using the jab and occupying Danny Garcia's guard, keeping his hands in his pocket, you know, really controlling him, you know, and when he needed to get out the way, he was using good head movement and defense coming forward. Benavidez don't possess those skills. Benavidez is going to be right there in the middle of the ring, you know, and I think he going to stand in the fire too long. And when he want to get out that motherfucker, he just literally not going to have the ability to do so. And Danny Garcia going to catch him with some wild shit. I got Danny Garcia stopping Jose Benavidez brutally. You know what I'm saying? Brutally. But I think this is going to be a great fight. I think this is something that the fans should tune into because we've been getting a whole lot of exciting and I would say, meaningful matchups thus far in 2022 in boxing. And this is one of those fights that you got to have like in between time. In the meantime, one of those fights that's action packed. It's not extremely meaningful. You know, it ain't a title fight. It's just two guys that, you know, Mexican versus Puerto Rican. It's a great fight. It's one of those fights that, hey man, you sit back, you know, pour you something to drink, man, and you just enjoy the action. That's what type of fight this is, you know what I'm saying? And I think Danny Garcia gonna shine in this fight. This a good first fight at 154 for him. I really don't see Danny Garcia having a whole lot of success at 154 versus the top guys, but this is one of those type of fights where he gonna shine. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. What do y'all think about Benavidez versus Garcia? You know, is this a fight that you interested in watching? Who you think gonna win and why? Break it down, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Contender regime boxing. I'll holla at y'all boys, man.